announcements for you. We have a presentation from BlackRock. BlackRock, world's largest asset management company, based in New York City, the headquarters. And they make a presentation. And the presentation is on Wednesday, 28th of October. And you have the chance to meet people, executives, and to speak about all the internships they have. They have global, worldwide, a lot of really great challenges. So I recommend you visit this BlackRock presentation on 28th of October. You have a new time, and this presentation, it is 5:45, and it is in the HZH6. I will give it here and let it circle. I give one to you, and I let it circle here, and you bring it all the way. Okay, so this is BlackRock. And then I have, in the case of the Finance Association, we have a very new program in the winter semester 15-16, and we have a new flyer, and I will let it circle for you, so you have the whole schedule of the events we have with Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, PwC, EY, so all the big companies are with a company presentation, workshop or case study, with a case study or workshop in this program. In the winter semester I give you one, and here please also let it circle. This is a full program, and as all of you may know, we have a fitness workout tomorrow. It is the boxing, and I will be your coach, and it's part of this leadership lecture. So you are well invited to come tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to make 2 hours good, sweaty and very funny workout, fitness boxing, so you can train a lot and you can make your mind free for your career, and you are then forever young. And so I will give you this invitation tomorrow 4 p.m. until about 6 p.m. and you have only to bring your sports outfit and your good mental shape, and then we will have fun together. I will be your trainer, and everybody can make sparring with you. So let it please observe. So now, today we have a very big topic, very interesting in our daily research. And you remember we had last time the 3D leadership model, and we have talked about leading up, we have talked about leading across, leading down, and now we want to go to another part, and the part is leading as entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial leadership. And what is entrepreneurial leadership? There's a definition. I guess there's a long definition and there is a small definition. I will give you first a small definition. Entrepreneurial leadership is organizing a group of people to achieve a common goal and using proactive entrepreneurial behaviors by optimizing risk, innovating to take advantage of opportunities, taking personal responsibility, and managing change within a dynamic environment for the benefit of an organization. That's one leadership or entrepreneurial leadership definition. And there are social entrepreneurial leadership approaches, there are global entrepreneurial leadership approaches, and the leadership approaches and group theories are connected together with entrepreneurial leadership. But I will give you another iteration of entrepreneurial leadership, and these are some qualities. We have 5 qualities for entrepreneurial leadership, and I will give you an idea about these short 5 qualities. Quality number one for leadership, entrepreneurial, is vision and dissatisfaction with the present. Vision and dissatisfaction with the present situation. Another quality is knowing and taking advantage of your unfair advantages. This is number two, quality. And the next one is, that's a leadership skill for entrepreneurial leadership, is the ability to get people on board and add these people to the vision of the entrepreneurial goals. So this is the aspect of leading, this is the aspect of team building. And the number four is the flexibility of the leader, flexibility to adapt, openness to feedback, and your ability to learn. That's number four. And number five is apart from the goal setting theory from Latham. And this number five quality for entrepreneurial leadership is persistence. Persistence and the ability to execute. Execution. So now you have an iteration for entrepreneurial leadership, and there are some ideas we want to hear from our guest lecturer today about entrepreneurial leadership. And some entrepreneurial leaders take often risks. By whom they take the risk, or if the risk by themselves, we will discuss later. The answer will be from our guest lecturer. And there are some other sides of leadership. There are dark sides of leadership, of entrepreneurial leadership. And we want to hear later, or we want to discuss with you, what are the problems of the dark side of entrepreneurial leadership. For example, hubris. For example, and this is an example from military leadership, from the research on military leadership. These are the toxic leadership. This is the dark side of leadership in another framework, but you can adapt it on the private leadership. So there are a lot of questions, and we are very, very excited to hear the answers from our guest lecturer, Charles Lovett, from the University of St. Andrews. A big welcome to you, Charles Lovett. And he is also from the School of Management, which belongs to the University of St. Andrews. And he is a senior teaching fellow. And I will give you some information to his short biography. Charles Lovett has made his Master of Arts at the University of Dundee and has made his MBA at the University of Edinburgh, Master of Business Administration. One of the electives has been Business Law, Marketing, Negotiations, Management, and he wrote a dissertation on entrepreneurship and philanthropy in Scotland. He has a lot of directorships and government appointments. He was in the Component Limited or in other companies. He had very high-ranked positions, a trustee, director, co-founder from, for example, some companies, and from music profession. So there is a lot of experience, and his teaching curriculum is from University of Dundee to the University of Aberdeen Dundee or University of St. Andrews and other. He's a speaker of a lot of topics worldwide, and at the moment he is senior teaching fellow in the School of Management at the University of St. Andrews, and the special teaching areas are conceptual issues in management, contemporary capitalism, or irresponsible enterprise and justified enrichment and entrepreneurship, innovation and creativity. So we are very, very excited to hear the guest lecture from Charles Lovett, and we are really excited to discuss with you the topic entrepreneurial leadership today. So a really, really warm welcome to Charles Lovett from the University of St. Andrews School of Management, and I have the honor and the pleasure to have you here and to give you the auditorium for your guest lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harry. Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for coming out on a beautiful afternoon. It's a beautiful city, a beautiful campus. I'm really honoured to be here. Harry introduced the subject, but I should explain first of all that I'm not really a proper academic. I'm not a professor. I don't have a PhD. I did have two businesses for a while, and in the 1980s and the 1990s, and until about the year 2000, when the dot-com bubble burst, I was very active in business. I had my head inside a computer for 10 years. From about 1985 to 1995, I don't really remember anything except my children were born, and I developed a database system before Google. The algorithm I developed was for in-house proprietary use only, but it was effectively the same as Google's database system. So I know a little bit about the practice of entrepreneurship. In a few minutes, I'm going to have an exercise where I hope there are some leadership candidates here. I hope there are some candidates for an entrepreneur here. And if you'd like to take part in a short exercise, I'll be doing that in a minute. And you get a chance to judge whether or not you've possibly got what it might take to be an entrepreneur or a leader. Now, entrepreneurship and leadership go together very closely. Harry introduced it beautifully with his 5 vision, knowledge and knowing how to take advantage, how to exploit an opportunity, the agility to get something done, the ability to get something done, flexibility and learning are absolutely vital, and persistence and execution. But in addition to all of that, I'd also say that an entrepreneur has got to be a good communicator. Entrepreneurs tell stories. I'm going to tell you a few stories about myself in a moment. The entrepreneurial story is all about gathering followers. And as you know, leadership is not about leading, it's about following. It's about gathering followers. So this is my rough definition of entrepreneurship. It involves acting boldly. Boldly, that's important. Not acting timidly, but boldly, going for it. In pursuit of opportunities, without accepting a limitation of having no money. So, no resources. So if you've already got all the money you need, why would you be an entrepreneur? That's the sort of thing. So acting boldly without accepting the limitation of a lack of resources. So about me, I was first of all, I went to university in Dundee, and the only thing I really enjoyed there was partying. I ran discos, I put on music events. And myself and my current business partner, we ran the entertainment for the students. And we were incredibly lucky because they gave us a building very similar to the one across the road from here. They gave us the biggest licensed party venue in Dundee that could take 3,000 students sold beer, and we put on bands. And that was where I learned everything I know. So I then invested in a business. I invested in a record company. It did very well. Unfortunately, then the technology overtook the record company, and so sales went off the edge of a cliff. I became an academic in St Andrews about 8 years ago now, after the global financial crisis, when I figured my pension wasn't going to last. So I felt I need to do some proper work again. That's my School of Management in St Andrews. We're very, very small. The whole university would fit happily within this campus. It's a very small university. We've got about 500 and something undergraduates and about 200 postgraduate master's students and about 50 staff. And that's the town of St Andrews. It's a very quaint town. It has a major, massive golf championship every few years. So the golf course is around there. And that is just about the whole of the town. There's nothing more than that. It's tiny. It's very, very friendly. That's across the road from my school at the university. That's the main golf course. And that was the work I used to do when I was building discotheques. My first business when I left university, I set up a company that built discotheques. We didn't run them, we just did the hardware, the sound system, the lighting system, the engineering. We helped specify air conditioning, but we didn't get involved in the air conditioning. It was really, really hard work. And I've honestly never worked so hard in my life because it's nighttime business. Nightclubs are about nighttime business, so nobody gets up until after lunch. And building these things, you had to negotiate with so many different people to make it happen. So there's a lot of work involved. The technology in those days was very similar to where it is today. So high power sound systems, we had Technics, turntables, we had cassettes. There were no CDs at all. But the mixer was the same, the techniques of DJing were the same, and the lighting system was very similar. I managed to get out of that business because it was killing me. It was just too hard work. And in the 1980s in Scotland, there was a lot of semiconductor business going on, and they were making a lot of personal computers. IBM had a huge factory, and I was just lucky to be in the right place at the right time. So 1/3 of the world's production of laptops was happening in Scotland. And IBM was the biggest, but Compaq were there. And I was doing a lot of business as well with a company in Cork in Ireland called Apple Computer. And so we were doing a lot of work there. I was incredibly lucky. I'm not going to say it was some visionary thing that said, let's go and be in the electronic business. It's just I was there, and that's what I knew. And to simply start the business wasn't terribly hard. But what we did, after we got going and the business was running, I started working on a database system. And the database gave us the competitive edge. It gave us the ability to out-compete our competitors. So we were shipping goods all over the world. And we were selling these things, silicon chips, that's what we were selling. And at one time they were more valuable than gold. That was what we made our money out of. They were Pentium processors. And at one time they were $1,000 each. If you think about it today, a laptop costs about $500, $800, 800 euros. But that single processor was costing $1,000. So taking opportunity of these things, taking advantage of the opportunity, we were trading those around the world, and you could carry £10,000 worth in a small bag. It was easy. It was a great business while it lasted. While I was busy making money about semiconductors, which I have to say is a very boring way of making money, you don't have any fun in semiconductors. My mate Pete, who I'd done partying with in Dundee, he set up a record company. And he said, why don't you invest in a record company, Charles? Because it's good business. So around about 85, this is the chart of the record sales. So cassettes were going down, vinyl was going down, but records, as in CDs, was really growing very, very fast. So we had plenty of money in electronics, and the music business was booming. Now, I don't know if the sound is going to work. It won't work, I'm sorry. But anyway, we set a record company called Digital Hardcore Recording. And this was before the internet. So when the internet came on, And our website was called Digital Hardcore. We lost it very quickly. I don't know who owns the domain now. We don't. We're called DHI now. The business is still going. We had a lot of activity in Berlin at the time with a guy called Alec Empire and Atari Teenage Riot. And he's still around. He's still making records. I'm not going to play that at all. While that was happening, there was also a boom in the electronics industry called the dot-com boom, when crazy business ideas were getting enormous amounts of investment, and the valuation of these companies was going up and up. They were like the unicorn companies of the day. And these unicorn firms were people like Broadcast.com, which was taken over by Yahoo for about $5 billion. It was taken over as the market was about to peak. It was taken over about there. And honest to God, you couldn't make, it was so easy to make money. As long as you could talk a story, you could make money. You could talk about a business model, and people would just give you money. It was so easy. So we were doing incredibly well without any great skill. I'm terribly entrepreneurial about it, but everybody was making money. Making money off the back of the stock market boom in dot-coms. And the dot-com businesses were very hollow. They didn't do anything. The technology wasn't good enough for them. So Broadcast.com, which I mentioned, its big USP, its proposition was it was going to deliver internet, across the internet, sports games in real time. It was going to deliver movies. It was going to do what Netflix does today. But in those days, we had 64K modems, and you physically couldn't download a video, a film, in less than about 3 days. You couldn't watch sort of streaming video. The technology couldn't work. You could do it in a laboratory, you could show the investors it working, but in the real world, it couldn't happen, it didn't work. So what happened was, for many reasons, the investors all realized what on earth was going on. Hidden behind up there was our best ever month. And that was around 2001, May 2001. And then the bubble burst. And it was like they turned the tap off. And this is our sales graph. So our sales were up there, and they plummeted down to there. And I thought, hey, this is the end. We've got to get out of this business as fast as we can. So I kind of rallied the troops a wee bit, and we did some more work. And I decided to sell there, and I managed to exit a year later. So I sold at the right time. I got out just before, because it just kept on getting worse. And it was a big recession. So I pulled out of the semiconductor business, sold it, got the money, and basically retired. And got very bored, which is why I started teaching. So I work at St Andrews University, and we get executive education. People come around from around the world to hear what we've got to say. This is a group of exec education from Mercedes-Benz UK. Now, at the end, I'm going to ask you to look at that picture again. This is an exercise that we give to these students. They're all senior people. They are the rising stars of MB UK. These are the top managers they've got. The people in the photo in the front row, that's one of the bosses of the university. That's my boss. There's an administrator and a couple of other people. There's a director, a member of director. But the guys standing up in some of the front, they're the sales executives, they're the general managers, they're the managing directors, and they're selling between them something like £100 million worth of Mercedes-Benz vehicles annually. So they're pretty professional people. And we give them an exercise in entrepreneurial leadership. And it's the same exercise I'm going to give you guys a chance to participate in. Now, it's all about persuasion. Being an entrepreneur is about telling a story and persuading people. You've got to persuade. You can't just order them to do something. If I've got a team, people work with me, and I'm in a team situation, I can't order them to do it. I've got to motivate them, I've got to inspire them, and sometimes I've got to do it really quickly. And that's what this exercise is all about. So the way we do it at Mercedes, we start off in a standing up situation, and then we sit down at the table. But that's not going to work here. So are there any entrepreneurs here, people who'd like to consider themselves entrepreneurs? Cool. Okay, well, yeah, maybe more. Maybe more than one. Any female entrepreneurs? Female entrepreneurs are in many ways more effective than male. Female entrepreneurs. Anybody? Okay, go for it. You've got to volunteer. What about leaders? Go. Okay, two more. Cool. Okay. Anybody who thinks they could be a leader? Okay, cool. You're on. You're on. You're on. Two more. I need two more leadership candidates. Cool. Yep. And another female. Okay. Tell you what, guys, come down the front so that I can identify you. The ones that volunteered already, bring a pen. You will need a pen. Bring a pen, that's all. Or a pencil. Come on. I'd like to get a gender balance, the same number of girls and boys if I can. Okay, is there a female leadership candidate we can have? Anybody who'd like to give it a go? Anybody who'd like to go up against these guys? Female.
Yeah.
Female leadership candidate? Oh, you want somewhere. Do you want to pick somebody, you guys?
No, yes.
Go
Okay, I'm going to go ahead.
for it. Good, well done. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to give you instructions now. Listen to this. The instructions are on here. They're written down on here. These are the rules. You must read the rules. You're not allowed to ask me any questions. As soon as you've read the rules, you've got to go and start the exercise. It's time limited. You each get a card, you each get these things. These are your receipts. So read the rule. As soon as you're happy, you put it down. No teamwork, no, you're individual, you're competing with each other. And the winner is the person who comes back first. So as soon as you've done the rules, you start. Then we'll come in. While these guys are reading, they're going to come amongst you in a minute. And they're going to try and get you as followers. And you signify your followership in a particular way that they'll explain. And when you become a follower, they'll give you a ticket. Okay? You must keep hold of this. This is the evidence of followership. You need the ticket later. You don't do anything, you're not going to be able to stand up and come down here. Nothing else will happen. But these guys are going to create followers. On you go. Yep, as soon as you're ready.
Okay.
On you go. Whenever you're ready. It's time limited.
I can write
Is change also possible?
I will. Sure. So I see that. Well, you be a startup.
Let's ask this
Alex, hast du gerade gedacht? Hast du was dabei gelegt? Hast du? Ja.
Von der Ukraine Dollar. $5. Habt ihr alles schon abgegeben?
One minute. 1 minute. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, come on back. I need a banker. I need a banker. Is there anybody here who has not is not a follower, an independent banker? A trustworthy independent banker. Qualification is you've not got a ticket. We need a banker. Have we got a banker? Please come on over. Now what you guys have got to do is you've got to talk to the banker. You've got to put the banker on. you write down?
Credit card.
So tell her what you've got and she writes it down. Okay, so what's happening now is, find out guys, the banker is an independent person. We all trust the bankers, don't we? We all like bankers, don't we?
Credit card, debit card, yeah.
So these guys have got cash, they've got credit cards, and they've got coins. They've got paper money, coin money. Now, did any of them make any promises to you? Because if they did, they get disqualified. Did any of these guys promise you were going to get your money back?
Yes.
Who promised?
Oh my God. I don't remember. I have no money.
Did anybody promise you're going to get the money back?
Yes.
Okay, who? Identify the guilty person.
The blue one told me, and the woman at the left side.
Okay, because if they promised you, then next
I
person,
think
quick,
you
next
would
person,
be
get on the board.
making your huge money, but I didn't say I would return your money.
I give you a loan, and
I don't think we
finish
agree
my
on the
sentence,
loan
please.
this
I give you a loan, and if you got my loan back by making money, you will be finished. So I give you a loan to give me money back, and then our relationship.
No. It was an investment case. It was not.
I still invest, but
Yeah, but
Okay,
it's not.
actually, I don't want to have an argument across the room at the moment, because we'll save that for later. But the point is, you mustn't make promises if you're an entrepreneur. You've just got to persuade them, charm them. So as entrepreneurs, your job is to get followers. You have no resources. When you started, what resources did you have? Pen and a bit of paper. So the entrepreneurial aspect of this is that these guys got money off you guys without any resources. Now, when you've got all the money, when you put it somewhere safe, you put your money on here, a tile. That's it. And then put your money there in the tile. That's it. So it's nice and neat. That's cool. Your name on the top. Put your name on it as well. Not yet, you've got to get on the wall first.
Dunkelblau,
Really useful for bankers. So over here, this guy got no credit cards at all. He was just a cash dealer. We've got a Visa card and a MasterCard from Steve. Now, what sort of credit limits do you think a typical student Visa card or MasterCard might have on it? 500? So if we were valuing this in cash terms, we could probably say that Steve got us about €1,000 there. Two cards. I don't know if Harry gave a card over, but I have a much bigger credit limit.
Yeah, I gave you.
We've got a good credit limit here. That's fine. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 followers. Oh, I see. 6 followers. 5 followers. 3, 5, 7 followers. We've got small credit cards coming in. This is good. You've got put your name, Steve. Have you got Steve? Can you put your stuff on there, Steve? Where is it? Steve? Okay, this is. Yeah, you put your name in there. Put your name on it as well. to move it over that way. We've got 3, 4, 5 credit cards. You just deal in credit. That's what I like. So now, who's got the money? Who's got the money? They haven't got anything. Who's got all the resources? She's working hard. I've got all the resources. Who's got the most followers now? Out of these guys and me? They've all got followers. Have I got any followers?
You have our money, so I'll follow you now.
Yeah, that's a good point. These guys followed me to start with. So they're my followers. They became my financial intermediaries. So they've gone round on my behalf collecting from you guys. And what I've now got is an investment fund. The banker is working out the amount of money we can invest. And I've got a great idea to invest it. Now, I'm an entrepreneur, remember that. My great idea is, first of all, I'm going to take 50% whatever we make. That seems fair to me. I'm going to get 50% and we're going to invest all the money we've got in a brilliant business idea. It involves motor racing. It involves technology. It involves sport. Who's going to win the Formula One championship? Any motor racing heads here? Mercedes, yeah. And their star driver is Lewis Hamilton. Okay. So I don't think he's worth investing in because he's so far ahead of everybody else. Unless he crashes, he's probably not going to be worth investing in. But what I'm interested in now, and we've done that, I'm interested in gambling, actually betting, on an outcome. So we could look at the race bets here, and we could figure out how to bet. So just like a casino, I've got all the money, and now I'm going to go into the casino or go online, and do it online, and make some bets. I won't just make one bet, I'll make a number of bets. I won't bet on Lewis Hamilton because the odds are rubbish. But I might bet on Vettel, Rosberg, Raikkonen, top 4 or 5 people. And if I don't know how much money we've got so far, we've probably got about 5,000 euros altogether. And if I put, let's say, 1,000 euros into each one of these, much of it will be lost. But I don't care because it's not my money. But I'll get half the winnings. Now, does that seem like a good deal?
No,
Why?
not for me. It's my money. My money is involved in it.
You're an investor. You knew what you were letting yourself in for. You saw an entrepreneur coming, and he said, trust me. These guys, they trusted me too. They're my intermediaries. Thank you. How do we do? We've got a score here. Who's the winning intermediary?
Do we have any systems?
Julia.
Yeah.
Julia, well done.
Felix has 5,000.
Plus 5
You think this is just on the credit card? Okay, well done, banker, well done. Okay, now the difficult bit is making sure you all get your things back.
And that's the reason on the credit cards there's a name on it.
So, taking it back to where it all came from. So, thank you guys so much for that. Really well done.
So, du hattest es bekommen. Damit. Danke dir. Vertrau dir da jetzt. So.
Film? Ja, Film, was soll man?
Okay, so when we do this exercise on the same